one, I'm Mind, and this is set number 60437, Jungle Explorer Helicopter at Base Camp from the LEGO City theme. This set contains 881 pieces, 5 minifigures as well as 3 molded animals, and it will retail for $99.99 in the US. This set is not officially released until June 1st, 2024 in most parts of the world, and August 1st, 2024 in North America, but it was gifted to me early for review by the LEGO Group through the LEGO Ambassador Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. So here's the main build of this set, the helicopter, and wow, this thing is massive. It's very similar in scale to the Explorer Submarine set from last year, where it feels like it's a lot bigger than it has to be, but they make the absolute most out of this space. This feels like one of the best LEGO helicopter toys I've ever seen because there's tons of room inside to actually pose minifigures. It's not just like a couple of seats and that's it, like no, there's actually stuff to do in there, while still looking good from the outside and everything. So it's very big, but honestly I think that's a good thing. It's a genuinely quite impressive set. Before we get up close, I want to show you some of the major functionality. Number one, there's wheels at the bottom. So when the helicopter's landed, it's able to roll around. The wheels at the back are stuck, always pointing one way, so they can only move forward and back. But the one at the front can swivel a little bit, and that's how you move it from side to side. Of course, the helicopter has the 2 giant propellers on top, and unsurprisingly, there's a function to move them. You just grab this knob at the back and turn it, and both propellers will move at the same time and in different directions. I actually really like how that was done. I appreciate the propellers at different levels, so that way they can overlap each other a little bit, but then they also don't hit each other. That's very smart design, and honestly, it's a ton of fun just to spin this. It's super smooth, very easy to do. But I think that's the biggest stuff, so now let's move up a little bit closer and take a look at the more intricate details of this build. Starting at the cockpit area, this is probably one of my favorite parts of this build. You can see there's windows on each side to look out, and of course the giant windscreen at the front, and this is very easy to remove so you can fit figures inside. But what I really love about this is how many seats there actually is. Because if you look in there, yeah, there's a total of 4 different seats. You can fit 4 minifigures in there at once. That's genuinely incredible. It is not often I see that in a LEGO set at all. I'm first and foremost a Ninjago fan, and I get a lot of Ninjago vehicles. And man, there's a lot of those I wish had more seats. Thinking about like the Ultrasonic Raider as a kid, I always wanted that to have more seats. So seeing them fit so many in a LEGO City set is great. And there's only 5 crew members in the set, so you can have 4 of them up here like actually taking part in piloting. Here's how that looks. They actually all fit in quite nicely. And then of course I can close that back up with them in there. And here's how the helicopter looks all closed up with the minifigures inside. Genuinely really great. As I said, probably my favorite detail. We got some stickers throughout the set just to add some like metal detailing to the orange parts. They're small, but they do add a little bit. Help the set feel a little less flat. I do appreciate that. There's like this knob right here that you can turn to lower down this box to the ground. And if you open the box up, inside are actually printed waffle pieces. I guess that's supplies for people on the ground, or if you wanted to feed gorillas waffles for some reason, you can also use it as that. But that's a cute little feature. And it's very easy to move it back up if you want. Here in the main body of the ship, there's 2 doors that open up, one on each side. And of course, you can choose to open either or both. And you can see kept in here is actually this little campsite. That's very easy to remove, it just slides out like this. And here there's just lots of necessities to stay overnight in the jungle. There's a little bed with a tiny overhang to keep you dry, a water bottle, a sandwich, a little place to cook food, and a stickered computer screen which is probably tracking the gorillas, and of course the keyboard is printed. But yeah, that slides out super easily so you can drop it off on the ground beneath the helicopter, and with that removed you have a much better look inside. Lots of open studs of course where that was, but something that I think is actually a really cool detail, there's a door at the front that leads into the cockpit seating area. I know some people don't like when there's no in-universe way to get in and out of a vehicle, but luckily this set does have that. Now could you actually put a minifigure in through there? I mean probably, but it'd be very difficult. You'd have to shove them in like over the seats right here, but there is an opening between this section and this section, and I do at the very least appreciate that. And then also there's a second box right here aside from the waffles, which you can also attach where the waffles currently are if you want, and if we open this up, you can see there's actually little orange slices in here, which I think originate from LEGO Friends, but personally that's not a piece I've ever really seen before. So yeah, nice to get 2 of those printed tiles here, and cool to have more food options. There's also a place on the other side to store the box of waffles if you don't want them hanging off. On the back side there's another door that leads into the main storage area, but we'll take a look at that in a moment when we open that up. For now, let's move back outside. Out here we have 2 of the LEGO Minecraft chess pieces in gunmetal gray, which I think that might be a new color. Definitely a very uncommon one. But yeah, these are great parts that fit in really nicely. And if you open it up, these are actually places to store minifigure accessories while they're piloting the ship. So for example, I have the mechanic's wrench in here. She wouldn't fit in the seat with this, so you can keep it there. And there's one on the other side that's holding the medic's syringe right now, as well as this little med kit attached to the side of the helicopter, and that can very easily be removed. There's this little thing attached to this side too, and I'm not sure exactly what this is supposed to be. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments. And then in the back there's the thrusters with the Adventurers logo on it. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same as the one from last year. And that's of course on both sides. You can move this up if you want to take a look at the thruster underneath. Definitely looks a lot worse like that, but hey, I mean that's an option you have. I like that the piece inside here is printed, that's cool. And I really love the shaping coming to the top propeller. These pieces are just really sleek that they used. And I appreciate the stickers here too. Here's a closer look at the mechanism that turns the propeller blades. And then finally around the back there's a door that opens up into the main cargo area. I just moved a couple notches down like this, and you can see there's two different vehicles stored in here. One is this tiny little boat, which is super cute. There's clips on the side to hold on to minifigure accessories. I believe this is meant for like the photographer in this set. You can keep your camera right there. But yeah, very simple build. It uses like a classic steering wheel piece. There's a propeller out the back. This is cute. It's very fun. And then the other build is a little Lego motorcycle, which is only a few parts, but I like getting it in dark blue here. There's a clip at the back to again hold an accessory, and I like this build at the back that kind of looks like a little backpack. The set also comes with a biker helmet too for whoever's riding the bike. And here's how it looks with a minifigure wearing the helmet actually riding it. I think this is actually really awesome for kids for play, because you get vehicles for air, land, and sea. That just opens up so many more possibilities. And obviously the land and sea vehicles are very small, but they're still there, that's still something. And I love that they're actually stored in the helicopter. Yeah, I think this is a really great build overall. It feels like there's enough room, nothing's too cramped. But there's still plenty of stuff that detaches. There's the campsite in the middle, the vehicles in the back, and tons of room at the front to fit minifigures. It's super easy to fit the entire crew in here, and they're able to get around in-universe too. So honestly, nothing but good things to say about this build. The orange is like maybe a little vibrant, it feels maybe a little bit kiddie, but I don't mind that personally. I think the shaping's good and the toy is fun, and those are the most important things. But of course, that's not everything in the set. I'll talk about this build a little bit more at the end of this video. For now, let's take a look at the side build in the set, then the animals, then the minifigures, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts on everything, including the price at the end of this video. So the side build in this set is this little bit of terrain for the gorillas, and it's not super big and there's a lot of open space because you gotta be able to pose the figures, but honestly there's a lot here to talk about. First, these fruits hanging off the tree. That is the Lego Monkey Kid Peach piece, but it's in bright yellow in this set instead of pink. That's a very interesting, very cool recolor. I'm not sure exactly what fruit they're meant to be, maybe a lemon? I feel like a lemon probably fits that well, or it might just be something else I'm not thinking of. But yeah, you get a total of 4 of that piece in this set, and it's awesome to see that piece recolored so soon, because it was just introduced earlier this year. We also have a printed butterfly piece here, which I don't believe is new for this set, but personally this is my first time getting it. We get the unprinted butterfly fairly often, but this printed one's a lot more rare and it does look really, really good. The print lines are just so small on this tiny little piece and it feels so detailed, and I love like the white or silver dots around the edges. Aside from that though, it's basically just this stone platform. You have some plants sprouting out, and of course the 2 trees with the fruits on the side, and then this giant platform in the center which is big enough to hold the gorillas. As you saw, I just had one up there. Without it, it feels maybe a little bit plain, but the gorillas are big figures, you gotta make sure you can hold them. And then attached to the clips, we have 2 sections, one on each side. This one's like a little tiny cave that has a spider coming out. That's quite cool. The spider's not like a rare or hard to find piece or anything, but it's just yet another animal in the set to add some more life to it. And because this section's on a clip, you can move it out like this or in like this. On the other side, there's a little waterfall, which is super cute, and there's a fish swimming right next to it, as well as a magenta frog, which again, not new, but that's a somewhat uncommon color for that part, and the fish is very common, but does add more life to the set. This is on a clip as well, so that can be moved around. And then turning this entire build around, there's like a little cave underneath the platform. And you can see there's a little flower in here, which is very pretty. They use like this half eggshell piece with 2 just standard flower pieces inside, but this looks really nice. It feels like a special thing to discover in the jungle. Again, just gives you more options for play. Maybe the adventurers are looking for this flower specifically. It's the only one like it in the set. The sections on the end also do have clips or bars that aren't attached to anything, so if you wanted to, you can take these apart and rearrange them, but it's also meant to combine with other sets of this wave, which is very cool. And then finally, here's how it looks to have the gorillas on the terrain, which definitely adds a lot more life to it. But now let's actually talk about the gorillas, because they're definitely the most exciting part of this set. There's 2 different types and a total of 3 gorillas in this set. We have 2 adults and 1 baby, and these are all new molded parts for this wave. Their front legs do detach similar to like Jurassic World dinosaurs or just big figs in general, and they just connect on with Technic pins. And their left and right arms are actually different from each other. One's got like an anti-stud on the foot so you can actually be walking on that one, and the other one has a bar connection in its hand so it can hold on to something. I think this was a fairly decent way to design things. You can have both arms down like this, or an arm up grabbing onto something, and if you really wanted to, both arms up, though the one that's supposed to be standing does look a little bit weird when it's raised up. The faces on the gorillas are perfect, very recognizable as what they're supposed to be while also feeling very Lego-like. And there's 2 studs on the gorilla's back, so you can attach a minifigure or an accessory or anything else you want, or specifically a baby gorilla. Because yes, the baby gorilla is the other new piece in this set, and this is so cute. Again, very similar face though much smaller, and he's just sitting down crisscross with his arms in his lap. He's 2 studs wide, so the perfect size to fit on one of the adults, and there's how he looks around the back too. Such an adorable new piece, really happy this is included. And I love that you get 2 of the adults here too, because they very easily could have included just one, but it's nice that you have like a full gorilla family now. You have potentially 2 parents and a child, and it helps make the price of this set feel a little more worth it. But yeah, I love these guys, absolute highlight of the set, but now let's take a look at the minifigures. So here are the first two minifigures in the set, and what I really love about these minifigures is these are the same characters from the Explorer sets last year. Last year we got a bunch of underwater and Arctic themed Explorer sets, and there was a consistent cast of characters between the sets and each character had different roles. Well, despite the exploration now taking place in the jungle, we still have the same exact characters, and they still stick with those same exact roles. So the character on the left was the captain of the ship in previous sets, but in this one he's the pilot of the helicopter, and then the one on the right I believe is just meant to be the leader of the expedition, though I'm not positive on that. But yeah, of course they have the same exact face prints they had in the previous wave, so nothing's new there, but their outfits are entirely new. You can see they both share the same exact leg print, which honestly looks really good. It's a quite simple one, just 2 pockets, but it fits in great and matches lots of different torsos. Obviously both of these outfits are very different from each other, but the leg print fits in really well with both. The pilot character just has like a blue hat, and nothing too interesting with the printing around the back of the jacket. From the front though, I love how he has a Hawaiian shirt underneath. That's a really cool detail. And the actual pilot jacket looks really good. The leader character though has like a shirt that's tied up at the front, and that's like very iconic like Jungle Explorer imagery. So it's cool to see that captured here on a LEGO City original character. And she also has a different hairpiece than she had in the past too. Because in the Ocean and Arctic Explorer set she had a much bigger, much longer hairpiece. But this time around the hair texture's the same, but she has it up in a bun instead of letting it down a little bit more. And that definitely fits the climate of a jungle better. That's a small thing, but a really cool detail, and it helps this figure feel more unique despite being the same character. Face print too is quite good. It does come on quite a few minifigures, but it's a nice, just like generic older woman face. Yeah, I really like these two. I love how different they are, while still being the characters from the original wave. And the pilot also comes with an alternate head attachment. If you want, you can take off that hood piece and attach a helmet with goggles instead. This is the classic LEGO helmet piece that was introduced with LEGO Star Wars back in, what, like 1999? So it's cool to see they're still using that, and obviously it fits a pilot well. He's got those big giant goggles that Anakin has. Yeah, these are both quite good minifigures. I like them. And then here are the next two figures, which are once again characters from the sets last year. And the one on the left is a photographer, and the one on the right is a mechanic. Those are the same exact jobs they had in the previous sets, so it's really cool to see that carried over here. The photographer, of course, comes with a camera as an accessory, and her face print has her winking, so that way she can actually look through the lens of the camera. It looks like she has a compass on her torso too, I guess, to help her navigate. And I love the orange undershirt she has. Again, I love the consistency between these figures, because you can see these two are meant to be wearing, like, the same vest. It's like that dark tan vest design, but the photographer has, like, an orange long-sleeve undershirt, and lots more in her pockets, while the mechanic's wearing a sleeveless undershirt, and she's got, like, oil stains on her vest. She's got a graphic around the back, too. It's a snake curling around a wrench, which is awesome. I love that design. That's super cute. And then the hairpieces on both of these are really great as well. The photographer uses Autumn's from LEGO Friends, which is a newer hairpiece introduced last year, but it's a super detailed one, and it's nice to get it in a set outside of LEGO Friends. The mechanic has like the single side part, and in dark red, honestly that looks nice. It's of course been used on many figures, Empress Beatrix from Ninjago for example, but it's a quite unique one, and I really like it here. The photographer does have an alternate face, though the mechanic does not, and you can see it's just a somewhat neutral smile. It looks good, but is just like a generic LEGO City face. And then the final minifigure is also from sets last year, and he's meant to be like the medic on the expedition. You can see he has like a stethoscope around his neck, and his hands are showing that he's wearing gloves. And his entire outfit feels a lot cleaner, a lot more put together than the other minifigures. He shares the same leg print as the first two minifigures we looked at in this video, and then he uses Cole from Ninjago's hairpiece, but his face print has like a little bit of a beard. I'm gonna be honest, that's probably not my favorite LEGO City face print. Something about it just seems a little bit off. I think maybe the mouth's a bit too high. But again, I just love that these characters are carried over from the previous sets, and I think it's so cool that they each have their own role. And each of them do get their own unique torso prints that are all designed to fit together. Yeah, this guy as well is really good. There's actually one last thing in the set I almost forgot to mention. The set comes with this printed map tile here. There's very similar printed tiles in many of the other LEGO City sets this wave, but you can see it's meant to be like a little map to the gorilla, and there's a little gorilla face on it. This is genuinely such a cute print, it looks amazing, and I love that we get these unique pieces in so many different sets. But now, overall, what are my thoughts on this set? Once again, I honestly really like this one. Of course, it's an 8+ set from LEGO City, so it's definitely better for kids than it is for older collectors. But this set does do a lot of things that I want to see from LEGO. The vehicle's big and has room to fit all the characters in the set. I don't feel like I'm cramming stuff in, but it also doesn't feel empty either. There's lots of different options for play. You have the campsite, you got the boat, you have the motorcycle, and of course the main helicopter. And the terrain build's really beautiful too, and there's so much stuff included on it. You have fruits, you have animals, and not to mention the gorillas, which I absolutely adore. Now, I haven't touched on the price too much yet in this video, and I think it's okay. Not like the best price set ever by any means, but also far, far from the worst. Comparing this to other similarly priced sets from this year, it's about average in my opinion. So would I recommend this set? I mean, honestly, it just depends on what you're into. If you like cool new LEGO animals and you like Explorer stuff, then 100% I would highly recommend this one. Maybe wait for it to go on sale, because the price could be a little bit better. But all things considered, the build is pretty much everything I could want from a set like this. I love the cast of minifigures, I love the animals included. I'm very, very happy with the package overall. But of course, those are just my thoughts on this set. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to my channel if you're new. And let me know in the comments which 2024 LEGO City set you want to see an early review on next. But as for this one, I think that's about all I have to say. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!